Let's bring in Tudor Dixon, host of the Tudor Dixon podcast and former Michigan gubernatorial candidate. Tudor, if the court ends up ruling today at 10 a.m. on this case and we get that announcement, how do you expect the court to rule?
Oh, I would say that he's going to be on the ballot for sure. They're going to say you can't disenfranchise voters. Courts don't generally decide to play in elections because they want the voters to have the chance to make the decision.
I think the big issue, by the way, I agree with you on the underlying. I expect this decision to be unanimous simply because of the message that it would send to the country that, look, we are a democracy. We fight these battles at the ballot box. Do you expect the same, or am I being Pollyanna Pyro, if you will?
No, I fully agree. I think that we're going to hear them say the voters can choose. This is a big election. It's not up to us, and it shouldn't be up to their political opponent to take them off the ballot.
All eyes watching again. 10 a.m. is when the case would be announced, or go on the website and then we all run and let you all know what happened. Meantime, efforts to abandon Joe Biden and get Democrats to vote uncommitted are spreading ahead of Super Tuesday. In your state, Michigan, there were 101,067 votes for uncommitted, over 13% of the total votes in the Michigan Democrat primary. But now this movement to vote uncommitted is spreading out west. Colorado, Washington, they also have movements there to try to vote uncommitted, even though Joe Biden is ultimately going to win the primaries in those states. How significant is this pushback to Joe Biden?
Sure. Well, I think what you said is interesting, even though he'll win. And that's how they viewed it in Michigan, or they tried to spin it in Michigan. Well, he still won. He won big. But 100,000 votes uncommitted in the primary was a big deal. In fact, Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, came out and said she thought maybe it would be 10,000. It ended up being well over that. Enough, honestly, for if this were to repeat in the general, for Donald Trump to take the state. And that is very scary to them because as goes Michigan, oftentimes goes the nation. So they're watching this closely. And now they're very concerned about what could happen across the nation. They're watching Super Tuesday. You saw Kamala Harris come out and make the statement that she wants an immediate ceasefire. That is a total change from what we've heard from the White House. She kind of mumbled under her breath afterward, well, at least for 6 weeks. But she wanted those cheers. She wanted that soundbite. I think that's a very dangerous soundbite because when you're the White House, you cannot play on both sides of a war.
So implicit in your answer, Tudor, is this notion that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are saying these things about the conflict in the Middle East in order to get that Muslim vote back. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think Kamala Harris is the person that they're putting on the chopping block, just like they did with the border. We're going to put her out there and say she's in charge, and then we can walk away from her if we want to. If I were her and I was put in the position where I had to come out and make this statement, I would say, hey, guys, come on. You're not doing this to me again. But she is definitely the one that is going to be out there, and then she's going to have to put her tail between her legs and say, well, that's not actually what we want to do with Israel, because in the long run, Israel is our ally.
It'll be very interesting to see, specifically in Michigan, because out of the 3 states that I mentioned, Colorado, Washington, Michigan is the most swing of those states. It'll be interesting to see what those uncommitteds translate to in the general. I don't think all 101 are going to all of a sudden vote for Trump, but it'll be interesting to see if they vote, and if they do vote, where those votes go. Tudor Dixon, got to leave it there. Have a great Monday. Have a great week. Thanks so much.